Who has had sex on the first dates and then ended up staying in a relationship with that person? Long term? We lasted 9.5 years. She just walked out on me last Wednesday. I'm fairly certain it was for another man. We had a good run. 9.5, 10 would do it all over again. I had a coworker who drunkenly admitted that she had sex with her husband in the back of his pickup truck a couple of hours after they met. It wasn't even a date. They met at a wedding. They've been married for over 20 years. Married her. Was not my intention at all actually. First date was awesome. We had inside jokes before even getting to dinner. Got back to my place and I was trying to get a movie going. I was being extra and had a projector hooked up to my computer. But the projector was acting up. She was like, well, maybe we can go upstairs for a bit and try again later? Quote. First date literally lasted from Friday afternoon till I dropped her off at her place on my way to work Monday morning. We drove all over. Visited a few cities. Actually went to the movies. Went to dinner a few times. And she stayed over the whole weekend. Married 6 years this October. Together for 8 in June. Me, I wouldn't call it a date though, just met for a hookup. Here we are about 2 years later. Me. Was supposed to be a one-night stand. Now we have been together 26 years, married for 22. Jumped my husband's bones on the first date. Just celebrated our 8th wedding anniversary last week. 23 years and still going strong. Yep. Coming up 8 years together. Had a baby just over 2 weeks ago. Here. Met in a dive bar. Was just a weekend thing for a couple months after that first one-night stand. 15 years later, we're celebrating our 6th wedding anniversary next month with our first child on the way in October. Life is funny. Married her but getting a divorce. She had a lot of red flags that I ignored or tried to fix. But obviously someone who doesn't want to change won't. I don't regret the relationship. I do wonder what I could have done differently that might have changed things. Not first date, but the night after. Things heated up quick. We've been together 3 years now, married 1. Still inseparable. Met my husband one night. The next day we went on a date which ended up back at my place doing the dirty. My roommate was having guests, so we went to a hotel for the entire weekend. Been together ever since. 5 years dating, 8 years marriage. If you consider 2.5 years long term. Me and my current partner fit the bill. We hooked up before we ever went on a date. But we ended up being really compatible and get along well. We're quite happy together and long-term things look bright. Me. 6 years strong. We met at my high school. And just chatted for maybe half an hour? Second time we met is what I would call our first date. Ran out of things to look at Target. So we went to his. And while I only intended on being friends. And I do not fuck friends. I knew we would have sex. Got a nice back massage. I needed it. And we have been inseparable since. Together 2 years. Engaged 4 months today. He is truly the love of my life. The sex is great. The conversation is great. He just makes me want to be a better person and take care of him with all of myself. Met a year ago and 7 months into a serious relationship. We had a great time getting wasted at the bar, playing games and talking for hours. Went home and had great sex for the whole next day. She's moving in with me in a couple months. Together for 31 years, married for 23, so far. Met on a blind date. She invited me to dinner at her house. I said goodnight. Went home. And then called her up to say I should not have left. Went back and we've been together ever since. To the person who broke into my car that night and stole a really nice pair of hiking boots. You are forgiven. 12 years and counting. We lasted 3 years. We make 7 years in about a month. I swiped right on him because he was not my type at all and I just wanted something with no possibility of leading anywhere. I had had a series of dates with someone I really wanted it to work out with and then it went Cray cray. So I wanted a small dose of sanity. He was leaving town the next day to move in with family. Quit his job and work on his startup. So slim chance of ever seeing him again. Perfect one-night stand. It was kinda but he was nice. Then he kept texting me once a day. Over Christmas break. And I enjoyed the texts. When I got back to town he said he was moving back here and his boss had agreed on giving him the flexibility he wanted. So we went on a few more dates. That was 7 years ago. Now we're just hanging out on our phones after putting our baby to bed. Currently 2 years in. Was a great night since the person who she was seeing kept playing with her emotions. I got to take her on a date and meet back at a nice hotel she already had planned for the other guy. Greater than. Not. Less than me. Me. There's no rules, mon. Met her around midnight and we were having sex around 3 to 4 hours after that. She was the love of my life. I dated for 3 years. He still teases me that I fell for my booty call guy. Every gay couple, ever. Source, I'm a gay. People tend to throw tradition and modesty out the window when they find someone they really like. I'd imagine half or more of long-term relationships started with sex. Me. We met at a dance club per bar and had a one-night stand. Married for 21 years now. Who woulda thought? Lol. We fucked like bunnies and pissed off his dad so badly that he kicked my husband out of the house. Lol. Married him within months and happy 5 years later.